The cock crowed before dawn in Umwachala, a quiet village bordered by a sacred forest. A thin mist hung over the mud houses, and the smell of wet earth filled the air. Inside a small compound, Oma, a young widow, bit her lip as another wave of labor pain washed over her. Two elderly midwives held her hands as she pushed with the last strength she had. Then, a newborn's cry sliced through the morning silence. "It is a boy!" the midwife shouted. Oma, sweaty and weak, smiled through her tears. Her husband Gozi had died months earlier under strange circumstances, leaving her alone. But now, she had something to hold on to again. They washed the baby, wrapped him in a cloth, and took him outside to greet the rising sun. The custom was simple. Every newborn must face the sunlight to receive blessings from their ancestors. The midwife lifted the child. The sun touched his soft skin. Then she froze. The villagers around her gasped. The baby cast no shadow, not even the faintest outline. Everyone stepped back. What is this?" one woman whispered. Another spat on the ground. "A spirit child, a child from the other side." The midwives trembled. Even the birds on the hut roof went silent. But Oma gathered her child and cradled him protectively. "He is mine," she said. "Shadow or no shadow, he is mine." And with that, she walked back into her hut, alone. For the first few days, Oma tried to live normally, but the village did not forget what they had seen. Whenever the baby cried, all the dogs in the village howled in unison. It didn't matter if they were tied up, asleep, or eating. The baby cried. The dogs howled every single time. At night, footsteps circled Oma's hut. Slow, dragging, heavy footsteps. But when she rushed outside with a lantern, no one was there. Children were forbidden from entering her compound. Women whispered behind her. Men avoided eye contact with her. Still, Oma held her son close. She named him Obiajulu. "My heart is at peace." But her heart was not at peace, because the signs grew stronger. Whenever Obiajulu laughed, lamps flickered and sometimes went out completely. Whenever he slept, a strange wind blew inside the hut, though the windows were closed. People saw birds perching on her roof, staring silently for hours. Vultures, owls, hawks, birds that never stayed together. Rumors spread. The spirit sent him. "He is an omen. He will bring disaster." By the second month, not a single visitor remained, except one. On a humid evening, as villagers prepared to sleep, Mama Ejima, the old blind seer, walked into Oma's compound with her staff tapping the ground. People watched from afar, murmuring, "If the seer went, something is wrong. She sees what we cannot see. Maybe she will take the child away." Mama Ejima sat on a stool and asked Oma to place the baby on her lap. She touched his face, his chest, his tiny arms. Then she inhaled deeply. "The child is not evil," she said softly, "but it carries a secret deeper than shadows, a truth hidden from the living." Oma's throat tightened. "What truth?" Mama Ejima leaned forward. Her voice became a whisper. "Your husband Gozi, he did not die of sickness." Oma froze. "Someone close to you wanted your tears," the seer continued. "And this child came with no shadow so that darkness cannot hide the truth." Oma began to shake. "Who? Who did this?" Mama Ejima only said, "When the child's shadow returns, the betrayer will stand exposed." Then she stood up and left the compound, tapping her staff on the earth, leaving Oma trembling with fear. By the time Obiajulu was 6 months old, the strange events were undeniable. One evening, the river near the village suddenly rose, bubbling and swirling violently. Yet there was no rain. The elders concluded it was the baby's presence disturbing the spirits. They summoned Oma to the village square. To protect the village, leave, the chief priest ordered. Take your spirit child to the edge of the world. Let the spirits decide his fate. Oma dropped to her knees, crying and begging, but they refused to listen. She went home, packing her things with shaking hands. Then someone entered her hut quietly. Her elder sister, Ada. Ada knelt beside her and hugged her. "I'm sorry," Ada whispered. "You're going through too much. I wish I could help." But her voice shook strangely, as if fear was eating her from the inside. Oma did not know. Ada's guilt was growing heavier by the day. Every strange sign reminded her of what she had done. She had poisoned Gozi out of jealousy. She wanted Oma's life, her husband, her happiness. But Oma never suspected. Not yet. The yearly festival of masks arrived, a time when every villager gathered, even those who hated Oma. Oma was forced to attend because the elders wanted to present the child to the spirits. She wrapped Obiajulu on her back and sat quietly among the crowd. Drums boomed, masks danced, torches lit the night sky. Then Obiajulu began to laugh, not like a baby. The laugh echoed like it came from a deep cavern. Everyone went silent. The dancers froze. The torches flickered. The ground vibrated. Then something unbelievable happened. A faint shadow appeared behind the child. Tiny at first, then growing. The villagers gasped, His shadow is back." But the shadow did not fall normally. It stretched, twisted, and crawled across the ground like a living thing. Then it stopped, pointing directly at Ada, who stood in the crowd. Ada screamed and collapsed. Her shadow twisted violently on the floor as if fighting her. The villagers shouted in fear. Some ran, some fell to their knees. Oma stood frozen, tears streaming down her face. Ada began confessing uncontrollably, her voice breaking. Yes, I killed Gozi. I poisoned him. I was jealous. I wanted him for myself. I cursed the baby while he was still in your womb." The crowd gasped. Oma staggered backward, unable to breathe. Ada continued screaming, but something went wrong. The ritual backfired. The spirits rejected the curse and took his shadow instead. The elders surrounded her. The chief priest shook his head in horror. This child was not born to harm us. He was born to expose the evil among us. Ada fainted. Her fate was sealed. The moment Ada was taken away, Obiajulu's shadow fully returned. The strange wind stopped. The river calmed. The birds flew away. The footsteps stopped forever. Mama Ijima appeared in the crowd and placed a hand on Oma's shoulder. "Your son's shadow carried the truth the living tried to bury," she said. "He is protected. Raise him well." The villagers bowed their heads in shame. From that day, the same people who rejected Oma began to respect her. Obiajulu grew into a wise child, calm, bright, and extraordinary. They called him Nwa Oku, the child of light. And Oma finally found peace. Thank you for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe.